Good morning, everyone. Jeanette Biro here. I'm a medium and a channeler, and welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards and see what's in store with a message from Spirit. How are you all feeling today? How was your weekend? This was, this past weekend was very, very energetically dense, but not in a bad way. I want to say density as in a lot of energies. There were some solar flares. I know there was an X class at one point. I can't remember which day. And also, there's a lot of polarity happening. So like highs, lows, light, dark, a lot on the table right now. So you may feel like you're kind of being spun around in every direction, but that's all to do with the Lionsgate energy right now. And the peak day is tomorrow, 8/8. So today there will be an amplifying energy of that. And I'm curious how that carries us through the whole week. This week feels like it's going to have a lot of intensity, but in a really good way. I feel a lot of positivity to it. So let's see what's in the cards this week. I'm using the Awakening Avalon Oracle deck. So let's see what Spirit has to share in the cards here. Oh, I am not surprised. Okay, this makes so much sense to me. Okay, I love this. So, okay, which order do I want to do this? All right, with the Lionsgate energy that we have, there is and I talked about this on Friday, this amplification of sun energy, sunlight, light consciousness, the messages that can come to us through light. So one of the first cards I want to talk about is Talk to the Sun. This is Shine Your Light, but more specifically, the emphasis today is embrace the light being shone upon you. And that is really kind of like these light codes, light consciousness, energy coming from above into our world and our reality. There is so much that we are awakening to, and there is like a really neat energy about this week that's like furthering our progress is kind of what I want to say from Spirit. So really allow the light to really surround you, to beckon you forward. Kind of like you see how this person is, I can't tell if she's walking away from the light or into the light, but for the purposes of this message, it's like walking towards the light. Walk into it. Your highest alignments are in that direction. And what's really neat too is that we have this Awakening Avalon card, and this one says connect to the sacred realms. Now, what I love about this card is the aurora on here, the northern lights. This really speaks to change on the planet. Now, when I had just before I had my NDE in 2019, Spirit talked about aurora and how significant that is of a change happening on the planet. Now, the northern, southern lights usually respond to when there's big influxes of light energy coming from the sun. And so when we get like a solar flare, solar burst, we tend to have amplified northern, southern lights. Now, the reason why that's really cool is because it's a physical manifestation of the light energy coming and hitting our planet. What you see happening in the auroras is happening to your energetics too, your aura. I love that. And so this is always a big symbol for me of like divine changes occurring, divine shifts, changes, concrete things moving in a direction that is positive for you and for the collective. So I love that this light energy from above is bringing change energies on our planet here for you and me and the collective. Now, within those change energies, we have clairs coming to the forefront. I love this. It is amplifying your claircognizance as well as your clairaudience. So this is fantastic because this really talks about our spiritual gifts coming online, our psychic abilities coming up to the forefront and being ready and available for us to use. Because really that's a natural way for us to be, is clairsentient, is claircognizant, clairaudient. And some of those might be stronger than others, but claircognizance is the ability to know. It's divine knowing of something. It's like intuition on high power. right? It is when you just know what something is. You don't need to understand why or how, but you know it resonates through your whole being and you recognize that. As well, clairaudience is really when you're hearing information from spirit. Now, you can hear clairaudience as an audible sound outside of your head, basically, with your actual ears. I've heard spirit call my name, talk to me audibly. But more often, I will hear them in my mind's eye, if you will, or in my mind. I will hear either a separate, different voice, or I will know that I'm hearing something without being able to explain the voice. Or sometimes it'll come in as my own voice, but it's not my thought. So that's where clairaudience can be a little bit convoluted for some people. But basically, this energy is amplifying our connection to spirit. And why that is because it helps us to better dictate the directions we want to go. We have been asking and desiring guidance and communication with our spirit guides, with the higher realms, with the Galactic Federation, with whichever helpers there are from above. And that energy is coming in because especially there's an amplification of light energy on our planet right now, which allows it to come through. And I think that's so fantastic. So one thing I want to say is notice the skies this week. I'd be curious if we have an increase in northern and southern lights at all this week, especially because this card came out. But more specifically, notice what comes forward for you. Notice what divine knowings just take hold on your being. Something that you know needs to be done, needs to be said, or something that just feels right and it's a very positive thing in your life, right? Like, maybe you have the opportunity to take a trip somewhere and everything is aligned and all you need to do is say yes. And your body is saying, yes, say yes, say yes. And so if you listen to that instead of the musings of the mind that are maybe like, I have too much to do, da 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 da, your claircognizance can give you that indicator really quickly, really, really quickly. So this is a really neat indicator of what is to unfold this week. I think there's lots of energy to come. Lots of energy with the Lionsgate peak. However, the energy does run throughout the whole week. So I will be very curious to see what comes tomorrow. Also, I want to say, check out the podcast today. It is a channeled message that Spirit had me just simply sit down, press record. And normally I like to be a little bit more prepared, at least knowing I'm doing a channeling or a card read or whatever, whoever I'm talking to. But in this one, it was specific to press record and go. And it was a beautiful message. So I'm excited to share that with all of you so you can listen to it here on YouTube or on your favorite audio platform. So thank you all so much. Thank you for joining me, your kind words, your comments. It goes a long way. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful day and I will see you all tomorrow.